And with that, we're live Saturday morning here on the West Coast. We're just getting the day started at 8 a.m. here in the Pacific Coast. D. Scott Smith here. I am the motivational listener and the mid-century dad. Now, I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this Saturday morning because I've got a number of items loaded up into the carousel. The toner company, and you can see we've got a number of items there, have sent me some items for review. I wanted to take a look. So we're going to do it actually from the unboxing, plug them in, use them. We've got a ring light. We've got several different microphones, boom arms, and an isolation shield. So for those of you especially that are doing any kind of use of microphone at home or in on your dining room table, all those kinds of things. Hey, it's you might want to have a isolation shield because that is one of those things that just makes it much easier to make good sound. So what happens is, generally speaking, when you're like in your kitchen, you're in a room that's not been treated for sound, you're going to get an echoey sound. And so as your voice bounces off the walls and comes back to the microphone, it's going to go from your microphone off the wall and back with a little delay, and it's just going to sound hollow. So you definitely want to try to change that around. And so an isolation shield is a good thing. So anyway, we've got a number of different things for to take a look at here with the toner products. So we've got the first thing that we're going to start with is the light ring. And then we're going to take a look at the Studio Boom Arm. And I have to admit that I did take a little peek because I was really interested in this one. And you're going to really like what you see. It's very, very solid, heavy duty, and still reasonably priced. And having a boom arm is also really important. Definitely something that I use regularly, and some friends of mine have been a little envious of the boom arm that I use. And so they're going to be adding that into their repertoire as well. So then after we take a look at the light ring and the boom arm, we've got a couple of different condenser mics that we're going to talk about. So we've got, just like here, the TC777 and the TC30. And we're going to plug them in, give them a test, and you'll be able to hear what those sound like. So that is going to be fun. And as I mentioned, the isolation shield. And then we've got two other more studio quality mics that you're going to look at. And those are the Q9 USB microphone. And USB microphones are very popular because they're very simple to use. You can plug that right into the USB port on your computer. So several of the microphones that we have are going to be using the USB port. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And so I really encourage you to stick by here and ask questions. We've got the chat available so you can ask questions. Let me know what you think about the different products, the different sounds of the microphones, and also the style. So if you notice, I've got this MXL 990, and I do have one of those in the carousel. The MXL 990 has been my go-to mic. We have used these on stage, and they're really nice microphones, reasonably priced again. And these are XLR microphones, so an analog microphone. It's a condenser microphone. And we'll talk a little bit about the difference between a condenser mic and dynamic microphones. And so you'll want to kind of pay attention there to see which type of microphone is going to work really good for you. But I am a big fan of using condenser mics in many cases because you don't have to be right up against them to talk. And so if when you are using your microphone, whether it's for a podcast, whether you're doing video, whether you're doing video conferencing, if you move around a bit, if you change where you're at, then using a condenser mic is a great way to go. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. And so we've got the Q9 USB condenser mic coming up, and then we'll finish up with the TC20 XLR condenser mic. Now, with the XLR, that's an analog microphone. And so it won't plug directly into your computer. You'll need an interface. So I've got a couple of different ones there. I use a Focusrite. So the Focusrite Scarlett is my favorite. That's the one that I've been using for a while. And I also use a Saramonic Smart Rig. And that has been a really handy tool because it's very portable and I can actually plug it into my iPad. So I take my iPad with me and then plug my Saramonic right into the USB-C port on the iPad Pro. And then am able to use any kind of microphone that I want, whether it's a condenser or a dynamic mic. And it sounds much better than using the one that's built into the iPad or even using earbuds, the microphone on earbuds. A lot of people are using those when they're out live, out on the road, mobile, not in the home studio. But I'm just a big fan of the of using something a little bit more high quality, a little more studio like. It just sounds better. I just really, really enjoy the way that works. So thank you for joining me this Saturday morning. And I just got to, I tell you what, I just started the day off. One of the things that I start the day off with is the espresso. And so a number of years ago, I was visiting with a friend of mine. And so I do have some of these items in here, this Nespresso, the Cities. This is the original style of Nespresso machine. And it's got the frother with it. Looks like a little travel mug there. Put your milk in there. It's got a little frothing device. Makes great espresso. But one of the things that I have really enjoyed over the years, because I am a coffee guy, and I love Turkish coffee. Now, Turkish coffee traditionally is ground very fine, like a powder, and then they mix cardamom in with it. And you take a pot, little tiny brass pot, and put the water in there, and basically put a plug of this Turkish coffee on top. This finely ground coffee with cardamom in it, and then cook it that way. Kind of boil it through a couple of times, and then pour it out with sugar in your little Demitas cup, just like the ones that we have here. These are the ones that I use. And so it's a wonderful thing to have this Turkish coffee, but with the traditional way of making it, you end up with this sludge at the bottom. So the key was with drinking Turkish coffee is when to stop turning the cup over. And so you don't end up drinking that sludge. But I was looking around, and sure enough, here on Amazon, I found the Levant brand's Turkish espresso designed specifically for the Nespresso machine. And so I put that into my Nespresso machine. It's always good to heat up the cup. So run some hot water from the Nespresso machine into your Demitas cup, warm it up, and then brew the Turkish espresso. right into that cup, put some sugar in it, and you are good. And guess what? No sludge on the bottom. So any fans like me of Turkish coffee, especially on a Saturday morning, it's 8 a.m. here on the West Coast. I'm in Oregon, D. Scott Smith, motivational listener and the mid-century dad. And we're going to be doing some product reviews, got some unboxing lined up here with the toner products. So we've got the selfie ring, the boom arm. We've got the isolation shield and several different microphones, including USB and XLR microphones. And we'll do a little side-by-side test so you can see what they sound like. And I think you're going to be happy with that. And so with that, I just want to kind of get right into the right into an unboxing, and I wanted to start with the light ring. And so you can see I've got the light ring here, and I do have some water. Got my Dunder Mifflin mug because you got to keep the office and Michael Scott close by. So anyway, and I've got my notes here. We've got this is the TLR20. It's a 12-inch light ring. And as I always say, you need to have really good light. If you're doing any video, let me just turn off my lights here for a moment. You can see it's just, I've got one light on over there. But the lighting is really important. Having good lighting just makes the video conferencing so much better. Or if you're doing any video at all, whether you're on Zoom or any of the other video conferencing platforms, you're doing live videos out like I'm doing right now, just having good light is really, really important. And so I wanted to open up this light ring from Toner. So this is the Toner TLR20 12-inch light ring. And we're going to go ahead and get this one open. And so let's take a look. I do like the boxes. These are they come solid, so you don't have to worry that the product is going to be damaged. So I was really happy with the over box here. And so let's get that open. And so we've got this box. We've got some instruction manual. So now, as my wife says, Scott, reading the manual is not like asking for help. It's like cheating. So let's cheat and take a little look at the manual here. All right. So we've got a card with their support information. And so this comes in multiple languages. And so we can take a look here at what we've got. So the light ring, and it looks like it's got connecting onto a tripod, and the adjustments, power cord. So it's got a USB power cord. So we'll be plugging that in to the USB port. And I'm all ready here. I've got additional USB ports ready. So we can plug in the light, we can plug in the microphones, and we can see how it all works. So I'm excited. So we've got the instruction manual. So I've satisfied the part of cheating. I have taken a look at the manual. So there we go. Now let's go in and take a look. I think this might be all bagged up here. Let's take a look. All right. So we'll set that box aside. So we've got a carrying bag. Very nice. And inside is the tripod. So this light, the Toner TLR20 light ring, the 12-inch light ring, does come with a tripod. And so it looks like it's a multi-use tripod. It has a standard connector on top, so you can use it for any type of device. But of course, you'll want to use it for the TLR20 light ring, 12-inch light ring. And, I've opened up some other different tripod units like this and I'll tell you, they're pretty wimpy. This one actually feels pretty good. This feels pretty solid. You got 3 segments on the leg to adjust it here. And And then we can raise and lower it here with the connector. And you've got the tilt and pan for your light, or if you're going to use it with a camera. And so I do have my phone up there, and that's what's giving us this additional view. So I have it on a tripod. So this is one that I could use for that as well. So let's take and set this tripod aside for the moment. And the carrying case. I love that they put the case in it. And so you can see how this is packaged. You got the nice sturdy plastic around it, protecting the light ring. And then we've got a USB power cord here. So let's go ahead and take out that. And we got a couple of other units in here, so let's pull those out as well. So we're taking a look at the TLR20 12-inch light ring from Tonor. And so this would be the remote control. Now this is going to be handy, I think, because as I mentioned, I have a light over on the side. I can't reach it from here. Now this one comes with a remote control. And so looks like we're able to turn that light off and on. Maybe we'll take a look. So we'll set the remote control there. And then this would be for holding your phone. Looks like a little universal mount here. So let's take that one out of the bag. That back down over here. All right, keep all my papers together. All right, so this is adjustable. We'll just take a look. You can see adjustable there to hold your phone and tilt it. All right, so we'll take a look at that in a moment. Let's just go this way. All right. So you can see here's the adjustable to hold your phone. And it looks like it's not quite big enough to hold a tablet, but it would be big enough to hold most phones out there. And pivots and swivels. And then it's got the connector. So we'll take a look at where that connects. So this is D. Scott Smith, and we are this morning looking at a number of different products from Tonor. We're starting off with the 12-inch light ring, and I'm really excited about this one and the microphones. I'm looking forward to getting to those microphones. Make sure you stay till the end because we're going to be looking at a couple of really good studio quality microphones, reasonably priced from Tonor, and these are going to be both a USB and an XLR microphone. So let's take a look at those. All right, so we've got the light ring. It's in the bag here. We're going to take off the bag. So I can see here is the connector where it's going to connect onto the tripod. So just a standard connect there. And then we plug it into the USB. All right. So it looks like this control, this remote control that we have here is for the shutter on your camera. So when you have your light ring away from you, you'll be able to turn it on and off from here and remotely. So it looks like it's a Bluetooth connection to your phone and be able to control your shutter with that. And then we've got the USB connector for the light here. So I'm going to undo the wrap on that. And let's get this connected up onto the tripod. And so the tripod has, and I'm going to switch it back over here. Let's take a look. So you can see on the tripod where you connect here, there's a little connector to release. So you would take this part off and you can be able to connect it. So this is a quick connect onto the tripod. So that's really handy. So it makes it easy. I can be able to take the light ring and the quick connect, and I'm just going to connect that right. I'm just going to screw that right into the bottom of that. So this is the 12-inch Tonor light ring. And good lighting. You've got to have good lighting. And so let's get that back over here. Let's take a look. All right. So it is a USB connector. So I'm going to plug that in to the USB to get it powered up. Okay. Let's put the remote control away. I'll set the box down. And we will put the tripod up on the stand here. And let's use that quick connect. And so now we have the light ring, and we can pan and tilt that here. All right. So let's take a look and see what we can do with the little control here. So it's connected up. This is the Tonor 12-inch light ring, and it is connected up to the USB port. And so it looks like there's the on-off. We can change the power. We can change the lighting here. So I'm going to turn this toward that camera so you can take a look. Let's turn it on here. All right. So that is on. We can dim it, and then we can bring it up. So I'm going to set that here. Let's take a look. We're dimming that, brightening it up, and we can change the warmth of the light here from very warm to very cool to kind of a medium there. And we're going to give this a little bit of a try. So I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to turn off my main lights here. And let's turn this on. Switch it over. All right. So here we go. There's my lighting. Let's get it more set here. All right, so that's with a good warm light. And then let's change it. So that is a very cool light. And that's the medium light there. So I've got it pretty close to me here. I would definitely bring this a little bit further back just to give a little bit of difference. So you can see, let's turn it off again. That's dark and good lighting. And we'll change that warmth. So this is a very warm light. And depending on the rest of the room and the light in your room, even the paint on the walls, whether you're going to use a warm light or a cool light or a neutral light, it's really going to depend on your room. And so we can change the brightness. You can bring that up. Now this is really handy. I like that warm light. So let's go with that. Let's go with the medium light, and let's hook up. Let's put on the phone connector here. You can see we would just screw that right in here. So if you're doing some sort of live stream, you'd be able, from your phone, you can put your phone right in here, and then you would be able to, you can see how it just connects right on here. Your phone's going to be coming out, so the light will be behind it. So the nice thing there is that your light will not interfere with the lens. And so that's an important thing to note. So this is the Tonor 12-inch light ring. I'm really happy with the way it works. And so we've got just kind of a number of different options here. I'm going to take the little phone holder off there. But I do like the way that works. The 12-inch light ring is really handy for in so many cases. This and you want to be able to have an adjustable light spectrum. So from the warm to the medium to the cool light, really, really important. And so this is the Tonor 12-inch light ring. It is highlighted in the carousel right now. So it comes with the light ring. It comes with a Bluetooth remote to be able to fire off the shutter for your camera for your phone. And also it comes with the holder to be able to connect your phone right into the light. And it's USB powered. So you'll be able to use this with a right off your computer, or another USB charging block off of 110 power. So this is a really cool light, and it comes with a very sturdy tripod. I am really impressed with what Toner has done with this. And so there we have the 12-inch light ring. So I'm going to turn it off. All right. So with the 12-inch light ring, that is the Toner 12-inch light ring, USB powered, with the tripod, with the Bluetooth remote to be able to activate your shutter, activate your camera from a distance. And it's got a little loop on there so you can put on a key ring and make it very discreet when you're using the remote and be able to take pictures and do your videos. I would think that for those of you who are doing any kind of TikTok video, that this would be really handy because it comes with the bag. It's going to be portable. You can take this with you and plug it into the USB, fire up the light, put your camera on there, activate your shutter, and be able to do your videos really, really easy. So good light is an important thing. Hey, D. Scott Smith here, motivational listener and the mid-century dad, talking about some different products today from Toner. Toner has sent these out, and I'm happy to play around with them. And I'm looking forward to just when we get to the end here, make sure you stay because we're going to be talking about some different microphones and do some side-by-side testing. And you'll want to hear kind of how those sound. All right, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. All right, it's going to be fun. This is a fun day. It's Saturday morning, and we're here in Oregon, just getting the day started. And it's just been a lot of fun. I'm going to take this light. I don't want to get it knocked. I don't want to knock it around. I'm sure it's pretty durable. I just don't want to make a mistake with that one. I love that light. That the Toner TLR20 light ring. It's a 12-inch light ring. It is available right here on Amazon. It is in the carousel. And the next thing that I want to talk about is the T20 Studio Boom Arm. So this is the Toner T20 Studio Boom Arm. If you are using any kind of a microphone, you want to have it placed where it's useful. And sometimes being on the tabletop is not as useful. Maybe you want to have it closer, or you can put it out of frame with a boom as well, and the microphone will still work, especially condenser mics. And all of the microphones that we're looking at from Toner today are condenser mics. Now, one of the things about condenser mics is that they're very sensitive. And so you don't have to be right up against them to have them activate. Whereas a dynamic mic, and often you'll see these as handheld microphones, and those are not as sensitive, so you have to be right up close to them for it to activate well and sound good. Otherwise, it sounds very hollow. So this is an important thing. So here we are talking about a number of different products from Toner. So let's put the T20 boom arm up here, and let's take a look at that. And so again, we've got it in the box. We're going to go through the unboxing of the T20 Studio Boom Arm from Toner. And I'm a big fan. I have friends that have been asking me, what kind of boom arm should they use? And there's a number of different styles out there. And some of them are very expensive, and some of them are not so expensive, but maybe not as durable. Now, if you use a heavier microphone, you want to make sure that the microphone, that boom arm has the adjustments to be able to keep that microphone in place. A lot of people use the Blue Yeti microphone, and that's a very heavy microphone. And when you put it on a boom that's not rated for that, it's going to sag and you'll be very disappointed. So, but using a boom arm is an important part of your home studio. So let's take a little closer look at the T20 Studio Boom Arm from Toner. So again, we're going to open that up. And right on top here, we have, it looks like the pop filter. So it's got an adjustable clamp here. So let's switch the views here. And you can see, so it's got an adjustable clamp. So this will clamp on to the arm of the microphone boom. And then you would position this pop shield. And pop filter is important. So if you're popping, you want to have if you're talking directly into the microphone, having a pop filter to reduce those P's, those percussives that will come out. Not only do they sound bad, but you could end up damaging your microphone with those. So this microphone boom arm, the T20, comes with the pop filter. All right. And we've got the instruction manual here. So let's take a look at the instruction manual. And this is very simple. Just it's in, again, multiple languages. Just has a few steps to show you how to clip on the bass, the boom arm, and attach the microphone holder there, depending on the type of microphone that you have. Now, normally the microphones that you get will have a holder that will connect to something like a stand, or in this case, the boom arm. And so you'll just use the one that comes with it. And so there's the instructions. I'll set that aside. And we'll put the pop filter in the back. So the other thing I see when we come up, we've got the a microphone windscreen. So this is the foam that goes over the top of microphones. So let's switch that view up here again. You can take a look. So this is would slide over that microphone. So you have some microphones will come with a windscreen like this, but if they don't, Tonor has decided to add that into the kit. So that's handy. So let's go back and take a look. We are looking at the T20 Studio Boom Arm from Tonor and a number of different products that they have sent here. So let's take a look. And all the components are nicely wrapped. They're packaged well done. And so this is the base. Now, I mentioned that I had taken a little liberty and taken a peek. And this base is solid. Many of the bases that you find will just be a piece of sheet metal, and it'll be loose. And so this one's got the screw base. So you would put this onto your desk, and we're going to actually connect this on in a moment here. So let's set that aside. And so let's continue opening up here. Let's see what else we've got. All right. And so we have here, we've got some cable ties. And so on my microphone, I actually use some little Velcro cable ties here to keep the cable in place. This is nice because they actually provide you Tonor branded cable ties. And so we've got, looks like we've got a couple of those here. So we'll take a look at those in a moment as well. And then they provide a nicely packaged little clip for a standard microphone. So let's take a look at that. All right. So this would be a clip for a standard microphone. And so I have here a different dynamic microphone. And so you can see it would just clip right on there. And so this comes in the case. Got the adjuster screw so we can tip that. So this microphone holder comes with the Tonor mic or boom arm. The Tonor T20 boom arm is what we're taking a look at here. And so let's set that aside. Let's take the rest of this out of here. And so we have got our take a look here. All right, so there we go. So we've got the main boom arm wrapped up. Get that out. Warning label. What does it say? Caution, spring loaded. Okay, so these are springs that hold this up, and I can see that it's got the tighteners here. And I mentioned that if you're using like a heavier microphone, like Blue Yeti, that you'll want to use, you want something that's adjustable, and this will allow you to tighten it up so that when you connect your microphone, when you connect a heavy microphone up, like the Yeti, it won't sag. And so we've got the caution on here. So let's undo the caution notification. And so here we have the boom arm. And I'll just tell you, that springs really nicely. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to connect this onto the table here so we can watch, take a look, and see. So I'm just going to loosen up the base. I'm going to swing that on here. And so I'm going to connect that on. And that's easy. So that's very solid. So this is the Tonor T20 Studio boom arm. And then we'll just drop that right into the base. And that feels really nice. So as you can see, then we've got this adjustable arm. And it's going to pivot nicely here. It moves very smoothly and quietly. And so one of the things about using a swing arm is that if you get spring creak as you move your microphone around, it's going to sound horrible. So let's put on the top here, this is where the microphone attaches, and it's got an adjuster here. So this is a little screw that is used to adapt between different types of microphone holders. So depending on what you have, you want to be able to connect without any difficulty. So we can see that this has the larger hole in that one. So I'm going to put this on, and we're going to attach this. This was the microphone holder that was provided with the T20 boom arm. And I mentioned this was perfect for holding a dynamic microphone, this handheld microphone. Maybe you have a Samsung microphone. My wife uses the Samsung microphone. And so you can see here that this is going to work just fine. So let's swap this over. So you can see that if I was going to use this microphone, I could, now this is a dynamic mic, so I would want it closer to my mouth if I was going to be using this particular microphone. And so here I have it on the Tonor T20 Studio boom arm, and I can adjust that. Really simple. And it's very quiet. I think I am very certain that I'll be replacing the current boom arm that I use, and it actually does. My old boom arm here does have some creak, some spring creak. You definitely don't want that. You don't want spring creak on your boom arm. So here we have the T20 Studio boom arm. This is a really nice item. And you can see that it's holding this particular microphone really easy. Now I could swap off this particular holder for this microphone. I've got a shock mount on it, and I could easily switch that over to this boom arm here, to the Tonor T20 boom arm. This is a very nice one. I'm going to take that microphone off, and D. Scott Smith here, and we are talking about some different products from Tonor. We've got we took a look first at the TLR 20 12-inch light ring, and so then we moved over to the a T20 Studio boom arm, and this is a really nice item. I am very impressed with the quality there, and the way that works. And so you can see, I'm going to put that microphone actually back on here for a moment, because what we didn't do is we didn't take a look at the pop filter. And I mentioned that pop filters are really important when you're right up against the microphone. So this particular dynamic microphone, now we don't have it plugged in to try out, but let's just see how we would connect this particular boom arm with the pop filter. So you can see we're going to get that microphone in there nice and tight. And there we go. There we are. And then just adjust the pop filter, and it just attaches right on here. And there you go. We've got a pop filter built in, and depending whether you want it to come from the top or from the bottom, you can see I've got this pop filter attached, and it just makes a really handy way to keep those plosives from entering your microphone, from sounding bad and from damaging your microphone. So this is a lot of fun. We're having a good time here. It's Saturday morning. Got some coffee going. Now, back when I was a kid, my dad was involved with a local college radio station, and I actually ended up being a DJ at that radio station when I also went to college there. And so I have been around microphones in studios for most of my life. And so it's a lot of fun now that we have more opportunity with home studios and all of that, all of this equipment. Now, this is so reasonably priced, and you can get nice stuff. You can get things like good lighting with the TLR20 light ring and the 12-inch light ring and this T20 Studio boom arm. And I'm really happy with the way this works. And I guarantee you that I will be swapping out my existing boom arm with this T20. And so stay tuned on watching those. So later shows as I continue broadcasting here live on Amazon, get those things put away there. We're going to have a lot of fun looking at some different products, some different home studio items. We're going to do some microphone comparisons coming up here. And a little bit of water from the Dunder Mifflin coffee cup. All right, so we've been going through. We looked at the light ring, we looked at the boom arm, and so now the next thing that we want to do is we want to take a look at a couple of different condenser microphones from Tonor. So we have both the TC777. Now, these are both designed to be desktop style microphones. And as I mentioned, with condenser mics, they're nice because you don't have to be right up on them. Some people are a little bit more concerned, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to look too ostentatious. And so they don't like to have the microphone in the camera. They like to have their microphone off camera. And so you still want to be able to be heard. So condenser microphones are really good for that. You can keep your condenser mic a little bit further away from you. And so we also have the TC30. So we'll be taking a look at both of these microphones. And so let's go first with the TC777. And not only do you want to have a microphone that's that sounds good, you want to have something that kind of looks cool. And I'm liking just even the boxing. Look at this. This is the box on this one. Just looks good. Feels good. So let's take a look and see how the microphone works. And then we're gonna plug this in and we're gonna do a little bit of comparison. So Tonor is very consistent with their packaging here. So we've got this manual, and so we're going to take a little closer look. Got a 2-year warranty card, so that comes right there in the package. We'll set that aside. And then once again, I think, yes, the manuals are in multiple languages. And so there's some computer setup that you can do on these microphones as well. So it'll allow you to control that microphone. So all of the instructions are right there and in multiple languages. So you'll be able to control your TC777 microphone. So let's take a look. We've got the bag that's holding the pop filter. This has a windscreen. So this is a complete setup. So we've got the box and everything is packaged in there. Now, if you do any traveling, I do recommend that you keep your box. This one, everything is form fitted to be able to put your microphone in there. If you do any traveling, it protects your microphone. And so make sure that you keep your box so you can transfer your microphone. Now, this one is an all-in-one. And so let's swap over here. We're going to take a little closer look at the microphone. So this is the way it comes packaged. We have a pop filter that's attached to the frame here. So this has a built-in shock mount for the microphone to hold the microphone here. Then we've got the pop filter that's attached and integrated right into the frame. Then you've got the toner branding here. Now this is blue with a little bit of silver highlight. You've got the windscreen built in and then the tripod. So we can set this up here. And so let's take a look at how this looks on the tabletop. We'll swap that back over. So here we are. We've got the microphone. You've got the built-in pop filter and the windscreen. Now, I'll say that having a windscreen and a pop filter both is a little bit of overkill. You probably don't need both, but it doesn't hurt. It's not going to limit your sound to have both a pop filter and a windscreen. So we're looking at the Tonor TC777 USB condenser microphone. And we've got more microphones coming up. In a moment, we're going to be taking a look at the TC30. And we're actually going to be plugging these microphones in and doing a little bit of comparison. So you can hear what the differences are like in these microphones. So this one is very nice, the way it holds up on the table, on the desktop. And then let's undo the cord. Now the cable on this one, just to let you know, this USB cable does come with a Velcro cable tie. So that is very handy. And the shock mount right there. And so let's get this microphone plugged in to the USB port. All right, so now we have plugged in the Tonor 77, the TC777 microphone. And we've got the pop filter, we've got the windscreen. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to switch over and I'm going to put my headphones on. So I do use these AKG K240 reference headphones. Now, this allows me to hear this type of headphone. This reference headphone is good because it doesn't really emphasize any particular frequency. It gives you a nice flat response, so I'll be able to hear the difference in different types of audio that I'm producing. So here we have the TC20 microphone, and so I'm going to swap out. Let me get in here, and I'm going to change my microphone so that we're not using my standard XLR microphone, but we're going to switch over to. Let's switch over and use the. And let's just see how that sounds. Let's see, is that right? Okay. And all right. Can we switch over to that one? Okay, so right now I'm not using, let's see. All right. I want to try to switch the microphone here so we can get a good idea of what the different microphones might sound like if we're using it. So what I may have to do is, well, we'll just see what we can do. If we can get this microphone working. All right. And let's see. Well, we may have to do a little bit of messing around with this one to see if we can get these this particular microphone operating. But we're going to do some testing with the different microphones later on. All right. So this is the Tonor TC777 microphone. It looks really good, and I'm hoping that we can get it activated here. And so what I am going to probably end up doing is I'm going to unplug my main microphone. Okay, so there we go. This should be the TC20 microphone now. All right. And let's just see how that sounds. I'm very happy with the way these microphones look. And so that is good. And so I'm going to try to switch over to the computer microphone. And let's just kind of see how that works. Okay, yeah. So there we go. We've got the, this is the Tonor microphone. And so we can kind of hear how that one sounds. And then if we, yeah. All right, so now we've got the, this is what the microphone sounds like inside of the computer. And so it's going to be a much more hollow sound than what we get out of, say, all right, say out of the TC777 microphone. So having a good microphone is really important. And I like the USB microphones because they're very simple. They're very easy to use when you're doing any kind of broadcasting, whether you're doing it as a podcast or whether you're doing a video conferencing, whether you're doing any kind of audio work. And having a good microphone like the TC777 is really helpful. So this is nice. It's a tabletop microphone. You can see how good it looks. It's got a little bit of style to it. We have both the windscreen and the pop filter. And so that is the TC777 microphone. Now we're going to put this one away for the moment, and we're going to take a look at the TC20. So let's take a look at how that one is going to work. So here we go. Let's take a little moment and undo the 777. All right, so I get off mute so we'll be able to take a listen to this again. So we are looking at the Tonor TC30 condenser microphone. This is a USB microphone. USB microphones are very easy to use because you just plug those in directly. You don't need to do any, you don't need to have a third unit. So an XLR microphone, an analog microphone like the one I'm using here, needs an interface to connect to your computer. With a USB microphone like the Tonor TC30, you just plug that in directly and use that right away. So we'll take a look. We'll do a little unboxing here. So we've got this card on top, says your key, 100% protection. So their support card. Toner has been very consistent in their products. And I was just saying, I like the Toner boom arm that we looked at earlier, and I will be replacing the one that I have because I get this spring noise when I move the one that I have. All right, so we've got the instruction manual. Toner has been very good about having multiple languages in their products. And then we've got the layout of this one has the microphone, the shock mount with a pop filter, tripod, cable. You've got the manual. You've got the product specs here. And again, you can configure this on your computer. So let's set the instruction manual aside. I've taken a look there. Once again, this microphone is very well packaged. And I'll remind you again that if you do any traveling and you're going to be taking your equipment with you, then definitely take your box with you. Keep your box so you can pack your microphone up, keep it safe. All of this is laid out really well to be able to protect the microphone and deliver it. So we've got the USB cable. So I'm going to undo that, and we're going to get that ready so we can plug this one in, and we'll give it a little test. Now, I'll probably be doing some more side-by-side testing with the microphones later and present those out. So stay tuned for future videos here as we talk about the Toner brand of microphones. We've got a number of different ones that we're using. So we're looking at the TC777, the TC30, the Q9, and the TC20 XLR microphone. So those are all here. So we've got more to come. We are only 2 microphones in to the 4 here. So let's take a look. Now again, this is all integrated. So we have the microphone. And let's swap over here so we can take a closer look. Now here is the Toner microphone, and it's got the USB connection, and you can, then it comes with the tripod, and the tripod is integrated with the shock mount and the tripod base here, and then you can set that on the tabletop. And so let's get the microphone in here. So the shock mount helps isolate the microphone from noise. So when you have this on your tabletop, and if you tap the table, it won't be transferred, that sound won't be transferred directly into the microphone because of the shock mount. So we've got the microphone here. And then inside the box, we also have the integrated pop filter. So this particular pop filter is designed specifically for this microphone. So we take a look. It's got the connection there. All right. So let's set that box aside. So we're taking a look at now the TC30 USB condenser microphone. It's got kind of a retro style, and being the mid-century dad, I like this style. I like the way this one looks. And so then you've got the integrated pop filter, and so let's just mount that right onto there. And so now we've got the microphone, pop filter, tripod, and the USB connection. So you know, I am a mix, being the mid-century dad. I'm a mix of both the mid-century and the current century. And the mid-century was a while back. So we got both of those, and we're going to plug this in. Now this uses the USB-C type of connector. And as you know, a lot of the products are switching from the old, I'll say this, the rectangular squared corner connectors to the USB-C3 or USB-C connector, which is kind of this little oval one. So this one connects here. So the nice thing is that you're going to be using standard connectors for that. And I'm going to wonder if I can, if StreamYard is going to let me switch this microphone around. All right. And so, how can I do that? Check, 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 check. And let's just see. We're going to play around with this a little bit. And I may end up doing the type thing where we end up unplugging my connector for the analog to USB converter. Check, check. Okay. Yep. I'm going to switch that out so we'll be able to use this toner microphone and you'll be able to hear the differences. Okay. Check, check, check. All right. So now we're using the Tonor TC30 USB microphone. I like the styling on this one. I like the look, this kind of retro look that it's got. And it's a standard USB microphone. So it's very easy to use. Comes with the tabletop tripod, shock mount, pop filter. So those plosives are minimized. Now, when you're using a microphone like this, I do recommend that you're speaking across it. So you're not blowing right into the microphone, but you put a little bit to the side, and when you're talking, you're thinking that the air and those plosives are going across the microphone and not right into the front. So this is the TC30 microphone from Tonor. And so we're going through and trying a number of different microphones today to see which ones we like and what's going to work best for you. Now, microphones are very personal, and the way your voice sounds is going to be different with different microphones. So what works for one person may or may not work for you. And so I encourage you to find some microphones and try them and just kind of see what is going to work. I like all kinds of microphones, and so I don't just stick with one. I will use both USB and analog XLR microphones. But with the XLR microphones, you do need to have a converter like like the Focusrite or the Saramonic converters to go from analog to digital. So make sure you kind of know what it is that you need and what you want to produce. So here we are, D. Scott Smith. I am the motivational listener and mid-century dad. We're taking a look at just a number of products here from Tannoy. So we've been looking at the TLR 20-inch light or 20 the TLR 20 light ring. It's a 12-inch light ring, the T20 Studio Boom Arm, and we just went through the TC30, and right before that, the TC777 USB microphone. These are condenser microphones. And again, condenser microphones don't require you to be right up on them. You're able to connect at a distance or speak at a distance and still be heard. So some people like their microphones to be off camera. They don't want to feel like there's some radio DJ with the microphone. So you like to be a little bit more distant. So USB microphone is good. So these are really good. So here we have the Tonor TC30 microphone. We had the TC30 later. Now coming up, we're going to be talking about the Q9 USB condenser mic. And these are more like a studio style microphone and the TC20 XLR condenser microphone. I'm looking forward to plugging those in and just kind of seeing how they sound. So here we are. This is a D. Scott Smith motivational listener, and we are taking a look at a number of different products from Tannoy. And so I'm going to put those up here, and we're going to switch over to we're going to take a look at the isolation shield here. So let's talk about that and what that means. And I'm going to hook up the other microphone so we can see how that works. All right, so let's get the let's check the microphones here. All right, so we are back to my main microphone, and so one of the things that you want to have a is an isolation shield when you're, especially when you're in a room that, as they say, it's very live. So when you have a live room, that means that sound is bouncing off it. There's a lot of hard walls. So when you're in a room with a lot of sheetrock and not a lot of furniture or windows and curtains, or just windows without curtains, sound will bounce off there. And what'll happen is the sound will come from your mouth to the microphone. It's going to bounce off the wall and come back to the microphone, but a little bit delayed. And that's what gives you that kind of hollow, echoey sound. And so when you have a treated room, and that is you've accounted for these hard surfaces and you've made allowances by putting in different materials to protect them from reflected sound, then you may not need an isolation shield. But so many of us are working out of the house, and the house is not a treated facility. So you're going to have a lot of hard surfaces, and you're going to have a lot of echo that might be coming back off of the walls. So to improve that, we're going to pull up this toner isolation shield. Now, the isolation shield is something that is, it is a unit that's designed specifically to minimize the reflected sound. And so let's take a look inside this one. So we're going to open up this is the toner isolation shield. And so once again, just like Toner always does, they've got their little card here on top. And so customer support card, and we'll set that aside. And let's take a look and see. So we've got the Toner instruction manual. Again, this is in multiple languages. And we've got the shield here, and we're going to take a look at how this would be used and how we might use it with the existing microphone that I have. So we'll use this microphone that I have on the boom and see how it works. So it's bubble wrapped. We're going to take out the toner isolation shield, and let's take a look here. Now, I have a friend that does a lot of voiceover work at her house, and the same thing. So she's working in a house. It's not a treated room, so they could use it. There's a lot of opportunity for reflected sound, and she does voiceover work. So her voice has to sound good. Everything has to be perfect, and so she uses something like the toner isolation shield here. So the way this is packaged, we've got some connector items here. And then we have the isolation shield itself. And so let's switch over so we can take a little closer look at what this is like. So here we have the isolation shield, and you can see it's got a hard surface out here, and this is porous holes in this metal. And then inside, and you can see it looks like a triangle, and you can see where these hinges are. So we have the back and then the two sides. And so then that's going to open up, and you can see it looks like a studio, doesn't it? It's got the foam, and the way this is designed is that it's going to trap and reflect and absorb the sound and prevent sound from entering from the back here. And so we wouldn't get such a hollow sound. And so then we've got some different connectors here. So once again, these are designed to connect right onto your boom arm. And so when we look at the instructions, we can see here how what you would do is you would actually connect onto the boom arm. There we go. So you connect onto the boom arm, and then you use this little extension to move your microphone out in front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually back up the boom arm from that we looked at earlier. So earlier we took a look at the Tonor T20 Studio boom arm. So I'm going to go ahead and connect that one back up over here. And we're going to put this isolation shield on the boom arm. So we've got that connected. Then we've got the boom arm. And so we're going to remove the connector from there for the microphone. So I'm going to take that off. And we'll connect back up. We'll use that handheld analog microphone that I was using earlier. And so you can see we would connect the boom arm onto here, or onto the boom arm. We would connect the sound shield. So this is an isolation shield. This is going to protect your microphone from getting unwanted sound reflected back onto it. So the only sound that's going to hit your microphone is going to be that's the one that's coming directly from your voice and not reflected off any of the surfaces in the room. So let's see. I think we've got that connected on here. Is that right? Well, we'll take a look. I may have wanted to connect this on first. Well, that's why I should read the instructions, but I don't want to read the instructions. That's like asking for help. We don't need to do that. Let's take a look. All right. So we have got this to connect onto here, and then the boom arm. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I'm glad that you're here with me today. We are talking about a number of different Tannoy products, including this isolation shield. So if you are in your home, if you're in the kitchen, dining room, and you are doing any kind of work with a microphone, then having an isolation shield is really helpful. It's going to isolate your sound from being contaminated, if you will, by the other units around that you have. So where's my instructions? All right, there we go. From the walls, from reflected sound from the wall. So you don't want your sound contaminated. So you would connect this up. Let's take a look. Let's see. Here we go. So we can connect up the boom arm. We'll connect that on there. And then let's take a look here. All right. Yeah, once you get this all connected up, I see you would have a lot of opportunity to connect up different types of microphones there as well. And so let's take a look. I've got the connectors onto here and how that would all work. Well, the isolation shield is going to be one of those really handy tools that allows you to connect up to your boom arm and then add in your microphone. So we'll get the shield on here with the extender to connect up your microphone. So we'll put that on here. And once you have that connected up, you'll be able to control your sound so that, again, your voice is not coming reflected off the hard surfaces in your room. So again, if it's considered an untreated room, if you have no sound treatment for your microphone, and what happens is your sound then will continue to bounce off other surfaces. And so you want to minimize that by using some sort of a device like the sound isolation shield here. And so when you put that here, then you would put your your microphone on the boom here and be able to isolate your sound. So let's just grab the one of the Tannoy microphones, the TC30 here. And so you see, I would put that here in the shield. And what this is going to do now is this is adjustable. So this is going to protect my sound from being reflected off of the wall and into the microphone. And it's only going to come directly from my mouth and into the microphone. So that's a really handy thing to have. I definitely recommend getting a shield, a sound isolation shield like this one here. If you're doing any kind of work in a room that has hard walls, windows, if you snap your fingers and you can hear echoing, then that's a live room. It's an untreated room. And get a sound isolation shield like this Tannoy toner isolation shield. I do use Tannoy monitors for my sound, as well as the AKG headphones. But we're looking at the toner products today. We're looking at the isolation shield here, and be able to control the sound of where your sound is coming from on your microphone, and not coming off of the reflected surfaces, but coming from your voice itself. So having an isolation shield like this is really helpful. So we'll take that down for the moment. And I want to take a look at a couple of the other microphones here. Now, both of these are more like studio quality microphones. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be looking at the studio quality microphones from Tonor. And these are the microphones that something that you would really use if you're doing some serious broadcasting. Now, the nice thing about these microphones is that you're not putting out the huge dollars that you might spend on some other microphones. So having good sound is really important. And here's the thing: when you're doing any kind of video conferencing, recording, live broadcasting, people will put up with bad video a lot longer than they will with bad audio. All right. So let's we're going to put this one away, but the microphones that we're going to take a look at, the first we're going to take a look at the Q9 USB condenser mic from Tonor, and I'm excited about these two microphones. And in fact, you'll probably be seeing them on future broadcasts when I do some broadcasts with the Millennial Daughter. So the Mid-Century Dad and the Millennial Daughter, we've actually got some product coming up, some product reviews that we'll be doing together. And it'll be a lot of fun. Now, one of the things is that my daughter just got married, so she has a variety of products that we'll be taking a look at to look at this coming year, 2022. For those of you who might be planning a wedding, whether it's big or small, my daughter will have some great ideas for you. So we actually have a laser hair removal device that she has done some unboxing video for, and that she's been testing. And so we're going to come back and do a product review on that one coming up. So look for the Millennial Daughter and the Mid-Century Dad product reviews coming up. But right now, we're going to take a look at the Tonor Q9 USB condenser microphone. So let's take a look here. Now, once again, all of the microphones from Tonor all of the products have come packaged really well in solid boxes and packaged really well. So now we're taking a look at the Q9 USB condenser microphone. And right off the top, again, we open this one up and we can see that everything is packaged well. We've got the integrated pop filter. So this is going to be very similar. In fact, the components that we have in this one are going to be similar to what we saw in the studio boom arm, the T20 earlier. So we've got the pop filter. We've got the instruction manual. So this is the Q9 studio microphone. Now I'm going to just show the little image there. This is what we're going to be taking a look at. And again, this is more like a studio type microphone. Studio quality. This is the T9 studio microphone from Tonor. And we've got the instructions here. And again, they are in multiple languages. And so you'll be able to connect this one directly up to your computer. This is a USB microphone. And now we do have the windscreen. So we saw that it comes with the pop filter that's going to integrate right onto the boom arm. And then it's got a windscreen that you can put on to the microphone as well. Now, my recommendation is that you use one or the other. You don't necessarily need to have both a pop filter and a windscreen, but Tonor gives you the opportunity to choose which is going to work better for you. Do you want to use the windscreen? Do you want to use the pop filter? If you have both of them connected up, it won't degrade the sound. It'll be just fine. So we have a shock mount. And as we mentioned, the shock mount is very important when you're using microphones, especially a sensitive microphone like a condenser microphone, because if you bump your desk, the tabletop, and then you're going to transfer that sound through the boom arm and into the microphone. But with a shock mount, it's going to isolate that microphone. So they provide you with the shock mount. And then we've got the base here. This is going to be the base for the boom arm. And so now this boom arm is going to be a little bit different than the one that we looked at earlier at the TC20 studio boom arm. So this has a connector, so you can we'll mount the boom arm in here, and then you can tighten it up. And so this is a very easy connect onto the desktop. And so we'll connect that up in just a moment. So we'll set the shock mount here. And we have, this is a USB connection microphone. So this connection, this cable, I'm going to get this one set up so that we'll be able to plug this microphone. So we're looking at the Q9, the Tonor Q9 USB condenser microphone. And this is a very sturdy cable. USB microphones are very easy and very popular because you just plug them directly into your computer and you don't need any kind of another interface for that. You can just plug that right in. So that provides the cable, and I'm going to set that here so that we're ready to plug that in. So this studio kit comes with everything that you need. So you have the boom arm, the microphone, the shock mount, and the pop filter, the windscreen, everything's right there. So we'll take the bubble wrap off of this one, and let's just take a look and see what we get. So we have our boom arm here, and so you can see that it's got the connector. So you would put your shock mount onto here, and then we're going to mount that right onto the tabletop in a moment here. So we'll set that here. And now this is what we're actually taking a look at, is we actually want to take a look at the microphone itself. So this is the Q9 USB condenser mic from Tonor. And so here we have something that just looks really cool. This is nice, clean, straight up microphone. It's got the USB connector in the back, and it's threaded, so we'll be able to mount that onto different types of shock mounts. But this one does come with an integrated shock mount that's designed specifically for the Q9 USB condenser microphone. And so we're going to hook this one up in just a moment. I'm going to set that there and move the box, because I want to actually set up the boom arm here, and so we're going to switch so you can take a look. Let's take a look at the boom arm. So we just mount that. We're just going to mount that onto the edge of the table, a desk here. And then we're going to put the boom arm onto that. And so the boom arm connects in. There's a little screw here so you can tighten it up to keep it from moving around too much. And so then here we have the boom arm, and this slides very well. And it's quiet. Now, I mentioned earlier the issues with having a noisy boom arm, and this is not noisy. So we've kind of run that through some paces there, and let's connect up the shock mount here. And so we're going to screw that on to this boom arm. So we put that on, and we'll get that connected up here. Now, once we have the boom arm on, we've got screws here so you can tighten up how flexible this is. And so if you were to use this boom arm with a different microphone, then you would be able to tighten that up. So if you used a heavy microphone like a Yeti, but we're going to take a look here at how this fits in with the Q9 microphone. And so we're going to switch the look here so you can take a look as we make this change. And so the Tannoy microphone just fits Tannoy. I just keep saying that, don't I? Okay, so there's little squeeze clips right here, and this releases the tension so you can drop your Tonor Q9 USB microphone in there. And I'm going to tighten it up so it doesn't sag. And you can see this is a really solid look for the microphone here. And then I'm going to plug this in to the USB. So we plug that into the USB, and then you can see there's a little indicator light right here that comes on. And if we go back to our instructions, let's take a look at what the instructions say. And so there's a button right here that if we press and hold it, it will mute it. And then you, with a short press, when it's muted, that'll unmute the microphone. So you have a little bit of control right there with the microphone. This is a good looking microphone. And, you know, as I've mentioned before, that not only do you want to have a microphone that sounds good, you want something that's got some style to it, right? And so many people have very standard microphones. Having something that's got a little style, like the Q9 here from Tonor, this is a great microphone. Great look. Comes with the boom arm. You've got the integrated pop filter, which I don't have on right now. Or you got a pop filter you can put on. You've got the shock mount, the USB cable. Everything's ready to use this microphone. And so we're going to probably have to go and disconnect the other phone to make sure that. All right. Check, check, check. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to unplug this microphone so we can use the Tonor microphone here. So stand by. Okay, check, check. All right. So we want to, we're going to be switching out audio, microphone, Q9, check, check. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're using the Q9 microphone now. Okay, so this is the Q9 USB condenser microphone from Tonor. And you can see it comes with the boom arm, Comes with the shock mount. There is a pop filter. There is a windscreen that you can put over the top of the microphone. So depending on what you're going to use it for, if you're outside, you definitely want to use something like a windscreen. If you're in the studio, having a pop filter in front of your microphone is helpful. So if we were to put this on here, now if you're talking directly into it and you get the pop, 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 pop. All right, yeah. So having a pop filter helps. I'm actually not a big pop filter guy because the way I use the microphone, I like to talk across it, so I really don't have those plosives, those P's, those blasts of air that are coming out and really kind of dominating the sound. But I do like condenser microphones because you don't have to be as close on them. You can be back off a little bit. So here we have the Toner Q9 USB condenser microphone boom arm microphone, shock mount, pop filter. Everything's ready to go right out of the box. This is a good microphone. It looks good. It's got some good style. You're gonna have some good sound with it. So I am really excited that we've got this here today on Amazon Live. D. Scott Smith, motivational listener, and mid-century dad. We're just geeking out about some stuff here. And I got to grab some more water. All right, so there we go. Now we're using the Toner USB condenser microphone. So now we're going to go ahead and unbox the last microphone today, and that's going to be the TC20 XLR condenser microphone. Now, with a condenser microphone, again, you don't have to be right up against it. You can be a little bit off in it, distant from it, and it sounds good. I like to be up closer to the microphone. It just makes it easier for me to be able to control the sound. But you don't have to be that way with the condenser mic. Now, this microphone that we're using right now, the Q9, is a USB microphone, which means we plug directly in to the computer. And if we use an XLR microphone, and that's the next one they're going to take a look at, we're going to take a look at the TC20 XLR microphone. That's an analog microphone from Toner. And with that, you need to have a converter. You need to have a something that's going to take that analog signal from the XLR and turn it into a digital USB signal. Now, I like to use both either the Focusrite, and I do have this here in the carousel. I use the Focusrite to convert, or the Saramonic Smart Rig. Both of those work well. I tend to use the Focusrite here in the home studio in my office, and then I use the Saramonic when I'm out on the road because it plugs directly into my iPad Pro, and then I can use microphones. And so I could use like the Toner TC20 XLR microphone that we're going to be using in a moment here. So I'm going to disconnect this one, and then we're going to switch over, and we're going to have fun with the final microphone that we're taking a look at today, the TC20 XLR from Toner.